Welcome back to the Electronic Gaming Mostly podcast. I'm the Night Terror. And also Gabler and Monty again. Can't get rid of them. So, we had 21 downloads in a week of that last podcast.
Whoa!
That's the biggest one yet.
Awesome.
That's like an entire classroom of fucking losers.
Yeah, one person even commented and agreed with us.
Wow.
You believe it?
I feel like that to be expected.
Right?
So anyway, we'll rate the podcast if you're listening, so more people can hear the truth about Destiny before it's irrelevant and it's common knowledge. And also, we'll fucking read your comments on the podcast.
We'll read your on the podcast.
We'll read your wherever. I'll read it all day.
Yeah.
I'm gonna find
Unless
it. Let's see
ask
the
not
one
to,
comment.
And then we'll do it without your consent.
Right.
Yeah, once it's out in public, there's no stopping it. We don't have that much to talk about this week, but
That's the glory of the internet.
Glory.
All right, 20 views. So we had 21 downloads, and then also 20 views on 30 now, 30 on YouTube.
How do
5
you view
likes.
a podcast?
Well, it's just a big picture of the embedded player.
Yeah.
You got to do that thing.
So
that,
TY
like,
or Ty
you got to do that
Yeti.
classic thing that people do, and you got to put like quiet gameplay in the background.
I don't even put it on YouTube. It happens automatically when I
Well, people
publish
used to
the
do
podcast.
commentary videos all the time where they'd be playing like Call of Duty in the background. It'd be like some highlights and shit.
Look,
and
if you want to watch something, you watch the
they'd just
stream.
be
You want to listen
talking
to
the
something, you
whole
listen to the
time.
podcast.
It's a doublet.
Anyway, the comment from Ty Yeti says, "So glad to hear people talk about this. I was beginning to think I was the only one who felt that way about Shadowkeep." You're not alone, Ty Yeti.
You're definitely not alone.
There's a lot of circle jerking
our
that goes
clan.
on in the Destiny 2 community, and that's because most of the people that play this game have been playing it for the past year or two, and they've just been happy with having their hand up their fucking asshole like a goddamn sock pocket.
Pop suck it.
Pop socket.
Sock it.
But we're still dipping
Exactly.
into it because it's the slow season.
Yeah.
Well,
Still
I
got
mean,
shit
there's
to
a
do.
lot of shit coming. It's just, I mean, I'm not going to go into the fucking spiel again. I'm so fucking pissed off about it. It should not be the way it is. It's
No.
bullshit, man.
So we're all in Destiny. What are we doing? What are we doing here?
We're stuck with this game. We paid for it. We put 16 hours into it, just fucking finding out that it was busted. It was shit. That's what we did. And now
Yeah.
it's too late because Valve's got a policy. So I can't get a refund back. So I might as well just fucking do what I can.
Well, how about instead of typing out
thing
the
for me,
reasoning,
the
just give them a
game is-
link to the podcast?
The game is good in short bursts.
Well, I'm at the point where, like, again, week 2 has pretty much come and gone. I did all my powerful gear, and I'm still only up to 938.
Yep.
I mean, other than just running around and hoping for prime engrams to drop, this is kind of the cap for the week. So that kind of sucks.
Pretty much it.
So what have I
There
been
are
doing?
people
They
that
got
hit
stuff coming
960
here
in
and
the
there,
first
whatever.
week. I don't understand how they did that. They probably did all 3 characters.
I got a God Roll Duke. Year 2 weapon. Still haven't found any Year 3 weapons that are worth it.
I've yet to find a single god roll myself in all my time playing this game. Like since
I've hit 1 or 2 year 2 stuff.
I've gotten some that are close.
You don't play enough.
Yeah.
Or, luck. So apparently this bitch is opening a fucking Vex portal on the tower.
What?
Believe this shit? That's what we're giving her fucking things for. She's building a Vex portal here on the tower. If you follow, there's a railing that they added. If you come to where I'm at, are you my party?
I'm on the
I'm
moon
there.
murdering shit.
So if you go to Ikora, there's a railing that they added back behind her. And right now it's just kind of nothing, but I think if you've turned in like one of the sets of the quest or some shit, there's like a portal back behind her. You're trying to build a gate so that you can kill the whatever the fuck over and over, the Vex Mind or whatever. That's probably going to be some content where you're meant to just grind the fucking thing over and over again. She says, we're going to kill it.
True. We used to kill ourselves here.
She's saying, we're going to kill it over and over in as many time, like, I don't know what it's like, multiverse type shit as possible, to where it can't possibly come back. Fuck.
All right, whatever. I mean,
it's just their excuse for repeat content. Let's be honest.
Let's be honest.
Lesbian.
Yeah,
Lesbian.
that's going to be the loop for season whatever, the next season. Go into this thing, collect a bunch of coins or some shit, give me the coins, I'll give you the gun, and in the process of doing that, you'll have gotten 10 fucking drops of that same gun.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty disappointing. I was doing the reckoning this week because still going for a spare rations. I'm trying to get a good trust out of the menagerie. Haven't gotten that yet.
The campaign mission cycles every week. For both Forsaken, I don't know. Is it the same for Forsaken and everything else?
I don't know. I don't know why they don't just let you play the story.
Yeah, it cycles. Look at that. Last call now. No, that's still the same one. Last call is still the same one. That's weird.
So listen to this. Because they nerfed.
Now hear this.
Because they nerfed the range on hand cannons, guess what's meta again? Explosive payload, my dude. Better Devils is back.
Better Devils is back.
That's also why I'm trying to get a good trust roll with explosive payload and range on it. Because
why trust though? Isn't Better Devils superior to trust?
Well, yeah, but trust shoots really fast, and because of the explosive payload, it might, if I'm right, it might only take 6 body shots to kill someone at any range. So that would be handy while I'm grinding out Better Devils in PvP.
Trust does shoot. Why would you? Fast, though. It's not as fast as like the.
Why 6 shots though? Why wouldn't you just use a grenade launcher still or shit like that? I mean, they didn't change Mountaintop.
I was never good with Mountaintop. I can't. Yeah, I can only.
You gotta be very precise.
You have to actually hit them.
Slow. Yeah, you have to actually body people with it. And sometimes even bodying them won't kill them with the mountain.
Frankie me, perfect. Here's the weird thing. Like
Let's do this repeatable story mission for this bounty. It's a weekly.
Looking at my hunter right now, and for some reason it appears that I don't have any milestones to do, any challenges.
You might have done
them. I didn't do them. No way.
Look at the map, the destination map.
I did. Replayable story mission. Yeah, let's do that.
That's a powerful gear thing.
You coming, Monty?
So for October, I know we're already like halfway through October, but I'm going to try to play some Resident Evil. We got kind of a start on Resident Evil 0.
Mm-hmm.
Gambler's going to be playing the survival horror way, and I'm going to be playing the infinite ammo destroy everything way.
You do that every time. I don't know why you just don't start a new one.
Because with 0, I don't want to start a new one.
I can understand 0. Even though they basically give you infinite fucking ammo.
It's just with dropping everything on the ground and having to come back for it, it makes inventory management really annoying. So if I don't have to carry ammo around, and every gun that's worth using takes up 2 slots, you know, I can just walk around with a shotgun or something. It's cool because from doing that Leech Hunter minigame, you also get the Magnum that shows up right in the beginning. So play through the whole game with a Magnum. It's just after the game causes you so much grief after so many playthroughs, it's just satisfying to run around with a Magnum or a rocket launcher and just kill everything. You know, I earned it. I didn't fucking put in a cheat for infinite ammo. Game gave it to me. You're the one always complaining that with the Resident Evil games that don't give you infinite ammo for everything. There's one of them.
I mean, that's just for replayability factor.
Yeah. I'm replaying
but
it.
If you haven't played the game in a while, yeah.
I've beaten Zero legit like 3 times in my life, and that's enough for now. I've never actually beaten the Leech Hunter mode. I never bothered. So, that's my reasoning. I don't gotta explain myself to you. I just kind of want to get it over with so we can move on to the other ones. Are we gonna play 2 and the remake of 2?
No,
Like
I
Public
think we
Event
just do
just
the
disappeared?
remake. I think no, it just completed. I honestly feel like we'll probably only do 0, 1, 2 remake and maybe 7. I don't really see the necessity of playing the other ones. We're almost done with October. We got a lot of shit coming down the pipe. Oh, we got Red Dead Redemption coming on the 5th.
Oh, yeah.
If we all
They
end up
announced
getting
that.
that. Unless we end up waiting for it to come out on Steam. I'm not sure yet. We'll see what the details are on it. I recently got my wife to pick up the PlayStation, so I should be good to be able to get it.
Oh, you finally conned her into it?
Well, she wanted a smartwatch, so... It
Oh,
I'll make you a
lucky
deal. You
My
buy
girlfriend
me
just
a
buys
PlayStation,
smartwatch.
and then you can buy you a smartwatch. Eh?
My girlfriend just buys herself a fucking smartwatch.
With whose money though?
With her own, but it's...
Oh.
Well, this was like a mutual agreement to put about $400 on our
I
credit card
paid
and then
most
pay it
of
off with
those.
tax returns.
Like, pretty much all she pays for is, like, fucking the cable service
The fuck is this ship you have? What the fuck?
and her fucking...
It's the Hake
car.
hamburger. You not know that?
It looks
So
fucking
I pay
terrible.
majority of the bills. So I think I should have a say in, you know, what the fuck we should be buying. She has so much debt, man. It's stupid. I hate that she just goes out and buys shit, even though she's in like crippling fucking debt right
She
now.
was raised by a wealthy family that...
I've been working on my shit.
I don't know what
I've
kind
almost...
of Asian grows up and doesn't either own a nail salon, become a nurse, or be just completely skilled at everything mathematics.
I don't know. For the first time in my life, I'm like nearing a 750 fucking credit score right now, and she's just got like a 300 or some shit.
You.
Damn. Yeah, my credit's great.
It's probably higher than that. It's probably like 400, but still low.
What the fuck are we doing here,
pretty much
and why
understand.
do we have this rando?
Because Monty didn't join us. This is the mission. You
Oh, it's
wanted
a
to do
nightmare
the
hunt?
repeat mission. No, it's a repeat mission.
Oh, well, it said Nightmare Hunt.
Yeah, well, it's wrong. It is a fucking nightmare hunt. God damn it.
That's why you got the rando.
Shut the fuck up.
Bye, rando.
If you join us instead of being a fag.
Well, I mean, if you get rid of the
Vajay.
rando, I would join.
How fucking long did we sit on the moon
We've been
waiting
in
for this
space.
fucking asshole?
Sounds like a you problem. I don't know.
So,
You have 20
let's talk
seconds.
about this whole Blizzard situation. We're all on the same page, so Gabler, talk. Speak for us. Well, Monty might be on the opposite side.
All right. So here's what's going to happen. I'm going to give this to you, the listener, in the most honest fucking way that nobody else has been giving it on the fucking internet. I'm not going to say Blizzard banned a Chinese player because they're pro-China, or Blizzard bans Chinese player because he said something about China. No. Blizzard banned one of their players. Well, they didn't ban. They suspended him and took some of his money. They took so this guy, they have a Hearthstone tournament. First of all,
they gave the money back.
Hearthstone. Yeah, well, listen, can we do a timeline here? Jesus Christ.
Foillow, I didn't know that's what you were doing.
So, okay, what happens? Blizzard has a Hearthstone tournament. All right, whatever. It's fucking card games. It's like 80% luck. All right, they got these two casters, and here's the thing about the thing about Hearthstone. So, StarCraft esports is dominated by Koreans. MOBA esports is dominated by Koreans. Card game esports is dominated by Chinese. Okay, so you have these two Chinese casters commentating in Chinese because this wasn't even, I don't even think this was an American, like an English broadcasting tournament. I think it was actually like a Chinese league or some shit, or in Hong Kong specifically, maybe, or maybe China. I don't know the necessary.
It's irrelevant
stuff on that. I mean, it could be relevant because if they're broadcasting in China,
well, they're broadcasting on the internet.
Well, it changes some stuff because people have talked about all this shit, and then it came out a couple days later that turns out the people that are in charge of the marketing team and the PR team over there are some Chinese people. It's not fucking Blizzard headquarters down in California that's making these decisions. It's people that they've hired for their Chinese division or some shit like that. Because when you outsource to another country, you don't just have American English-speaking people go over there. You hire people locally who are going to handle that for you. And from what my understanding, that's exactly what's been happening here. People that have issued the statements and all of that have been Chinese-speaking nationals who work for Blizzard abroad. So, kid wins the tournament. And like a dumb shit, he goes on the interview with a mask on his face so he can protect his identity from the Chinese government because communism is fucking terrible. And all these fucking retards in our streets these days espousing communism don't fucking get it. And here we have a prime example of the kind of ridiculous shit that communism leads to. So these guys, they're covering their face because guess what? In communist countries, the government goes after you and your family if you get seen speaking out. That's why China has invested a lot of fucking money in facial recognition technology on the street. That's why you saw people tearing down fucking big light pole looking shit that had facial recognition cameras on it. So he's wearing a mask, and the commentators don't de-escalate. They don't go, well, we know where this is fucking going, and just in the interview or whatever, they actually goad the guy into saying something about the controversy over Hong Kong and China. What's the controversy? Well, first of all, China owns Hong Kong. Let's say that right out and forthwith. It belongs to them. There was an agreement back in the day. I'm not going to get into the specifics of it. It's partially because I'm not completely educated on it because I don't care. But
Britain gave it back to China in 1997, and they've kind of been acting like an independent thing ever since. And now China's like trying to bring them into the fold.
Oh, this is the wrong way. Yes. So Hong Kong has been basically running the show as if it was capitalistic, and which it has been. I mean, that's why there's so many good films that come out of Hong Kong. There, it's basically another form of Hollywood. Like any kind of Chinese movie you see comes from Hong Kong for the most part, because anything that's coming from mainland China is usually propaganda, pro-state propaganda, which is another thing you get in communism. So, Jackie Chan and all this shit, that's out of Hong Kong. And it's only possible because they have adopted a lot of capitalistic systems and things like that. And they want to keep that. But China has lately been making a lot of moves. People that don't understand what's going on with China and why the president of the United States is very anti-China is because China for the past several decades has been buying out countries by
they've been selling
sending
debt
them into debt. Right. They've been selling debt to
can't afford to pay it back. Yeah.
Exactly. And what that allows is in the future, they can go, okay, well, sell us your country.
Right.
They basically get to own the country. If they don't own it outright,
and everyone's like in a panic over this, and I'm just over here like, Firefly's gonna happen. We're getting Firefly.
We're getting Firefly.
That's the future. I can't wait.
I always thought it would be more Japanese language, but yeah, I suppose it makes sense. So China started.
When are they going to call out Fox for supporting China by banning Firefly? Huh?
Okay, so what happens is China starts making some moves on Hong Kong. All right. Some kind of bill is put forward in their parliament or whatever it is that China or Hong Kong has. I'm not sure which one. Again, I don't care too much about China, so I don't fucking read into it. I just know that China bad to some degree, to enough degree that I'm willing to accept China bad as an answer. So whatever bill they were trying to pass was some pro-Chinese shit, would basically give China a lot more power over Hong Kong. The people of Hong Kong did not want that. They took to the streets protesting. This happened for several months. It escalated. The Chinese sent their military to Hong Kong and started trying to quelch these protests. People started getting really serious about it, to the point where they're hiding their face and shit like that, because there's all this kind of technology that allows them to read facial capture and stuff like that I already went into. And so we're just kind of at that point where you have almost Tiananmen Square round 2 happening. Okay, this is where we're heading to. The last time
Tin Man
like
Square
in China,
classic.
Last time something like this happened in China, they sent military out of fear that they were going to be overrun and killed by the population. And by they, I mean the political party leaders. That's what communism does. It gives way too much power to a small handful of people. And so what ends up happening is the soldiers eventually open fire. They're being lied to and told that these aren't college kids protesting. These are people that are trying to destroy China and shit like that. And these soldiers end up opening fire and killing a lot of Chinese college kids, and they're just a lot of gruesome shit. They're running people over with tanks, smashing them and shit. Just fucked up shit. Communism bad, people. I don't believe I have to fucking say that shit, but okay, so that's where we're headed. So this kid wins his prize in fucking Hearthstone, and he decides that this is his moment to say something to the dozens of people that watch Hearthstone tournament. Not
literally dozens and dozens.
Not just dozens of people, but dozens of people that are willing to get up off their fat, lazy asses and not play Hearthstone and instead do something about China. I mean, if anything, the only people that can solve a crisis like this is the United Nations and the United States and their allies. I say the United Nations because that's the United States and their allies. I don't mean that United Nations is actually useful, because they don't do anything. And this is a great example of how they don't do anything, because they haven't done anything to help Hong Kong. Instead, it's just going to probably be America's expected to help. And if we help, we'll be called imperialists for the rest of time, even though we've never fucking claimed sovereignty over any nation we've ever liberated, ever in the history of humanity. The first one ever to ever do that. But yeah, totally imperials. So this idiot goes on, and most people don't read a TOS. I get that. So he gets punished. He gets penalized for this. And like I said, the casters goaded him into doing it. And for people that say, you don't know that, you don't speak Mandarin, they're not fucking retarded. They speak Mandarin. They see he's wearing a mask, okay? Why the fuck else would he be doing that? Not one point did they fucking diffuse the situation. So he says the thing and they hide under the desk. I don't know why. Maybe they were scared for their families' lives. I don't fucking know.
Imagine two people are interviewing you and they keep telling you to say something from underneath their desk. Yeah, just say it. Like, oh, okay. What could possibly go wrong? You guys seem confident.
Right. That's the reason why they went under the desk, to hide their faces, because they didn't have masks while he said it, because he knew that they knew that the clip that would be shared would be him.
Hid their mask because it's a publicized tournament. and people's names are all over it. Like, why
Well,
would they?
some people are fucking retarded enough to take their earnings and try to fucking sell their fucking political platform to dozens of people. Now, here's the problem, okay? It's in the fucking TOS. This isn't something Blizzard just made up on the spot. It's in their TOS and has been for a long time not to talk about anything political. Now, I'm going to nip this in the bud right now because I know there's mouth breathers out there going, excuse me, Blizzard has been political in the past. Correct. You are absolutely correct in that assumption. Because Blizzard as an entity has made political statements. If you want to consider gay things political, I personally don't.
Well, even if you do, this is a team of very well-paid people and the PR team getting together and say, how can we make this political statement work for us?
Their position is, right, not some fucking player. It's the equivalent of some fucking player winning a tournament and then talking about how Hitler did nothing wrong. Okay? It's not some, like, is that going to be your fucking argument? Hey, what the fuck? They banned that guy that said Hitler did nothing wrong? I mean, I don't agree with him, but Blizzard's been political before. Herp derp. There's a reason why they put this in their fucking TOS.
It's to avoid the situation that just happened by someone fucking saying something.
Exactly. This is what they're trying to avoid, because it's not, you're not going to appease everybody. You're going to piss off somebody. Everybody, and I don't care, like, yeah, but our opinion's the moral one. Yeah, and so in 100 years ago, the opinion of eugenics was the moral one. I mean, I'm not saying that I don't agree with you that China's a piece of shit. I've already gone over communism several times already in this conversation with myself. But like, listen, you can't pick sides, even if it's the moral side, because then you're going to be a fucking hypocrite. You have to be principled.
Well, then you're forced into the position of being the morality police, and Blizzard doesn't want to have to sit there and be like, well, you could say this and this and this, but you can't say this and this.
And maybe you're some fucking asshole who's fine with being the morality police in your life. That's fine, but stop forcing other people to do the same thing. You know, we sit here and we talk about ideas of forcing people against their consent and, you know, having people do things that make them uncomfortable and take them out of comfort zones. And then I see this kind of shit where people are like, no, companies should have to do what I want them to do. You have no.
We got to kill powerful enemies with melee, by the way, to get these marks.
Okay. All right. So the guy says the thing, and Blizzard does his shit. Powerful to get the objective.
Yellow bar enemies got to melee to death.
What?
Like
I think it's
the quest we just got.
Quest. World quest. Right?
It's the one we just got. Oh, okay, that counts. My knife counts. Sorry, go ahead.
So God damn, the knife is so fucking stupid. Okay, so this guy says the thing, and Blizzard's like, well, that's against our TOS. And then everybody freaks the fuck out because they think that they have a moral high ground, and maybe they do. I certainly agree with their moral high ground. But I'm not stupid enough to look at Blizzard and correlate it as Blizzard's clearly supporting China because money. You don't get it. Okay? See, in your stupid fucking little tiny mind, you're thinking, morals trump everything. But you're wrong, because Blizzard has an obligation to pay people that live in China. And I'm not talking about the Chinese government. I'm talking about people that live in China and work for Blizzard. So what? You want Blizzard to just fucking take the moral high ground and fuck over a bunch of people that work for them that live in China that have no connection to their government or what's going on, people that live in Hong Kong and work for them. And just because, remember, Hong Kong still owned by China. If China says you don't get to have your product in our country anymore, Hong Kong doesn't get to have it until they liberate themselves and decide for themselves. So that means all the people that work in Hong Kong for Blizzard lose their fucking jobs. You understand? When you own a business, you're it's not about you. It's not about your feelings. It's about the people that work for you. That's the mark of a good fucking company. It's the same people that are saying Blizzard should be defending Hong Kong are the same people that fucking shit on corporations for like laying off workers and being assholes and shit. Like you're asking for exactly what you don't want. It's fucking insane. So the guy breaks the TOS. He loses his prize money. Ooh, big deal. And he gets fucking suspended. Okay, so in sports ball, whenever somebody breaks the rules, they fine them for money, typically like millions of fucking dollars, because these guys, millions mean nothing to these people. You know, I've heard of my dad's into like NASCAR and shit. I've heard of drivers being suspended an entire fucking year and having like millions of dollars taken from them because they want to set an example, which is exactly what's happening here. An example is trying to be set. Now, Blizzard has made the quintessential mistake of apologizing in the form of giving him his money back. Well, that's just fucking stupid. Blizzard could do everything these people demand, and it wouldn't matter. Because it's never going to be enough. Already made the oopsie. You just can't bend the knee to cancel culture.
And everyone's freaking out. That's the story.
Well, we're 2 days, 3 days in or something like that, and everybody and their fucking mother wants to sit here and claim that Blizzard's evil and they're just doing it for money and they don't understand the concept of principles because they typically don't have any. A lot of projecting people that are just thinking, you know, I don't have I mean, they're not thinking that. They don't realize that's what's going on. They don't have principles that they stick to because they're not principled people. They just play a game of my feelings. And that's pretty much what's going on. And, I mean, if I haven't made my opinion very clear, communism is shit. Trump supporters hate communism.
Yeah, what a weird thing for everyone to come together on.
Yeah, but right now, like some of the, like,
that, I mean, that would be a good way to change people's mind, right? Like, people are like, China's bad, you should support Hong Kong. It's like, wow, you finally came around to the right side. Right? You sure you want to stick with that opinion? It's very right-leaning of you.
That's very Trump supportive. That's weird. I mean, if you go back to the process of this whole general election that's going on right now, Biden was hard to condemn China. His own party had to put, and I mean like people like Pelosi and shit like that had to push him into condemning China. Because he made some good friends when he was vice president. You know what I'm saying? Seriously, though, in all seriousness, communism is shit. China is shit. And Hong Kong should be liberated. Now, it shouldn't be us that liberates them because that ain't our fucking business. Okay? Just like the problem with the Kurds ain't our fucking business. So what I'm saying is, fuck China. Now, after having said that, fuck all the people that are hating on Blizzard right now, because Blizzard is just sticking to principles, which I admire. And this is for like, I can't stand when Blizzard does virtue signaling with their injecting homosexual characters into shit for no reason. Like, yeah, I get it.
Yeah, and just to be clear, it has nothing against being homosexual, but I like what you playing a hero shooter like Overwatch, which doesn't even really have a story. And it's like, oh, well, you know, Symmetra's autistic and, you know, the fucking Tracer's gay. And it's like, yeah, it's like, why does it matter? Is it going to affect the game? I mean, you want to write a story where it's centered around something like that. People,
I would be so pissed because it's just so obviously pandering. It's like, it's so weird to me that these people are okay with being talked to like children. It's such a talking down to like, oh, that's okay. We got you covered. Here's a autistic character for all you autists out there. Like, dude, what What are you fucking talking about?
Can we go back to Eris Morn real quick, please?
Like, what does that even fucking mean? Are you serious right now? Like, we got the autist, we got the lesbian, we got the homosexual male, we got blah, 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 check mark, check mark, check mark. It's so condescending. And, you know, the people that are okay with it are ones that are like, we need representation. What does that even fucking mean?
Well, I mean, that sounds like a you problem, you know? Like, why?
Yeah, that's a you
stop
problem.
identifying so fucking hard with fictional characters.
Yeah, you don't have to identify to enjoy something. I'm not a dead fucking zombie walking around with a goddamn robot following me that can't shut the fuck up for 5 minutes, and I fly a fucking spaceship through the air. Like, how do I identify with the character I'm playing with in Destiny right fucking now? I don't, because I'm none of those things. I'm not a robot woman. I play a female in most of the games I play because I don't need to fucking identify to enjoy playing a character. No. Like Ellie from Last of Us is a character that I adore. She ain't got a dick. So why do I need to have why does there need to be a dick for me to fucking, oh, it's so fucking stupid. And you say what I'm saying and it sounds logical to most people, but then there's these people that we're talking to that are just over here reeing immediately. What do you mean you don't carry every exact fucking opinion I have? Did you see Ellen DeGeneres sat next to George Bush? What a fucking demon she is. Unbelievable, these fucking people. So anyways, whatever. Moving on from that. To wrap up the Hong Kong, you know, it's fucking ridiculous. You can't expect Blizzard to pick and choose. And I'll give you another example why. Maybe you don't like the moral argument. Maybe you're not okay with the argument of just being, because let me tell you something. You think it's moral to pick the side of Hong Kong right now and pick and choose, but it's actually immoral to be unfair equivocally. It's immoral to pick and choose who you support and who you don't. And I know you're thinking like, well, what the fuck are you even talking about? Let's say
it's like, but if Blizzard comes out and says like, "Oh, Tracer's gay," it's like, "Oh, hooray!" Oh, so all you people who are happy about that, you're saying you were assuming she was straight? You were assuming that before Blizzard came out and said, like that sounds like you're projecting. Why you gotta assume?
Back to the Hong Kong thing is like, so you think people are claiming it's moral? Blizzard should take the moral position of supporting this guy and the Hong Kong shit, but that's it. That's not the moral position. The moral position is being equal about it. And I know this example is going to get some knee jerks, so follow along with me. Let's say a couple months from now, somebody wins a tournament just to prove a point and goes out and starts doing Nazi salutes and goose stepping. Now, naturally, everybody's going to disagree with that guy and say that guy should be silenced, right? That's the immoral position, is to have Blizzard pick and choose who gets to say what, because that's not what freedom of speech is. Yeah, and I know you're thinking like freedom of speech, fuck that, he's a Nazi. Okay, yeah, Nazis, we get it. Communists are bad, Nazis are bad, insert anybody that's not somebody that you like is bad. I get it. I don't like Nazis either. That's why my country.
Well, I mean, that's why freedom of speech is there. Like, there's a difference between saying things and thinking things and acting on things. It's a lesson that gets put forward in movies and books all the time. I mean, a lot of people have seen whatever Harry Potter movie that was, and he tells Harry, like, it's not. What does he say? He says, like, everyone's got good and bad in them, but it's the side you act on that matters.
Yeah.
So if someone wants to blow off some steam and gets a little racist, like, yeah, probably kind of a dick. Probably didn't need to say that out loud. Probably has got some mental issues. But if he doesn't act on them, there's not really a whole lot you can do about it.
Well, what's the point? Like, who cares what he says?
You can't throw someone in jail for talking.
Unfortunately, people care about words, and that's fine. But
unless you're a communist, because that's what communist countries do.
That's where I'm going with this. It's like if you say something that I disagree with, I can sit here and say, yeah, I disagree. But when I take action to shut you the fuck up,
that's what China's doing in Hong Kong.
Right. That's where it gets wrong. When
herp derp, you fucking retards. You're sitting here talking, and That's the fucking
Now, the difference is people see what Blizzard's doing as exactly that. They're silencing them. But it's different because, A, you signed a contract. All your rights go out the window when you sign a contract because you agreed beforehand and then you broke it. The
contract says that you can't do it on Twitter. You can't do it on Twitter because you decided, you chose to agree to those terms.
Right, because when you're on someone else's platform,
once again,
legally, you're kind of speaking for them.
I don't mean to say that. I don't mean
like they could put that disclaimer that says like the views of this person does not necessarily reflect the opinions and viewpoints of whatever, but that rarely holds up. Like sure, if it ever goes to court, sure it holds up. But in the court of public opinion,
doing that.
Well, no, it's really just for public opinion.
The views of this person, blah blah blah. They stopped doing that because
people stopped understanding.
Anyways,
yeah.
People are like, well, you shouldn't allow that on your network.
Or melee kill these guys because I got
people
the quest done.
Do finishers count?
Where'd you get the quest
I don't know.
from?
I don't have it. He does.
It was the challenge. I had a challenge.
I got stompies, everyone.
You just got stompies?
Yeah. Well, not for the first time, but I have some.
Sweet. You got good stats?
Back here's one shot if you need a melee kill on a powerful enemy.
But,
anyway, yeah, a lot of what's causing people to be pissed off is just a result of not knowing how things work, I guess. Knee-jerk reactions, not
let me finish that. So here's the problem. The same people that are sitting here attacking Blizzard and talking about how Hong Kong needs to be protected from the Chinese who are doing all this shit. You're literally doing exactly what they do. Like, China is communist. They silence political dissidents. That's why the kid was wearing a mask. Because if you say something that the party, the establishment, which in the case of China is their political party, which espouse the same shit that Antifa does in this fucking country, you're sitting here on the idea of it's okay to do that because I don't agree with it.
I think this guy's in the wall.
Great.
Game's broken.
All right, and if you can't pick up what we're saying right there's probably no hope for you, and you should just probably sit in a closet for the rest of your life until you mature or die, whichever happens first. Because there's no help for you. Sorry. I know that's cold, but
people need to stop knee-jerk reacting, and
we live in
when they post
culture.
on Twitter and shit. Like, how about everyone just calm down? Like, do you know how much shit I see that pisses me off that I just kind of take a breath and say, okay, just let it go, and I don't let it ruin my fucking day.
Yeah, absolutely. It's getting harder.
When I see something that someone famous does or a political leader does, I don't get mad. I don't, I don't.
God damn.
I start a clown. No, I don't get mad or anything.
When you're down,
I might voice my opinion and be like, well, that's fucking dumb. But when it comes down to it, anything you say or do is not going to change it. People need to stop overreacting and thinking they can actually make a difference.
Well, that's the problem when these people do fucking cave after people start flipping out at them. It just reinforces the behavior. Like, hey, if we just bitch and moan like a 2-year-old, this company is going to change, and then everything will be okay, and I'll buy their product again. Like, I don't get it. But if you like a product, buy it, and if you don't, and leave.
I mean, this guy happened to be Chinese, and he happened to be talking about the Hong Kong China thing. Like, put anybody else in this situation, nobody's freaking out. XQC got banned for several days from a tournament, or is fined and suspended from tournament play in Overwatch back in the day because he had a homosexual opponent that he was playing with, and he insinuated that he should go suck a dick. Now, he wasn't calling him gay. He was just saying that as you would to insult someone and say, go suck a dick, asshole. Like, that's...
Yeah, well, you know.
I mean, that's an
gaming
American
culture becomes mainstream, and all of a sudden people are like, that's what they talk like? Yeah.
Yeah.
You
Especially in video gaming. Oh my god.
That's what I'm talking about.
The shit that gets thrown around while playing video games, especially by
us.
us.
I mean, video gamers have hardened themselves for a reason. Most people that play video games 10 years ago, and I mean even 5 years ago, have been either bullied in school or called a nerd or seen the media talk shit about them, or every kind of bit of entertainment that exists there, you know, referring to video gamers or computer users as losers and shit like that. So we already had tough skin in the first fucking place.
Nerds.
So in order to penetrate that against each other, you have to fucking get really harsh. Like, I mean, if nothing phases me, you got to say some really harsh shit to get under my skin.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've never really been one to get upset at words.
I mean,
Words
I've been
are
upset.
the stupidest
I never
thing
get
to get
offended
upset
at
over.
shit, though, really.
Because you're not a loser.
I'll
What
take a
kind of
whole lot
fucking
personally.
loser gets upset at words? Grow the fuck up. Like, it's such a pussy fucking sentiment. Like, what happened? How is it not just considered that you're a giant fucking pussy to be sitting here getting talked shit on and to get upset about it? Like, you're letting people get to you with their words? How fucking weak are you? Nobody's punching you in the face or anything like that. You're just getting upset over fucking words. Like, you can here's a random person that you don't know, and you're letting them get to you. When did that become okay and cool? Like, what happened?
I have no answer.
Whatever happened to the concept of like not being bothered by shit? That was the the epitome of it. Like, rappers and shit like that, they talk shit on each other all the time. You don't see. When's the last time Snoop Dogg came out and said, man, that's fucked up what that guy said about me, man. Somebody needs to silence him. No, they fight each other or talk shit back at each other until one of them shoots the other one because he's a pussy.
I don't know what's going on with
Tupac Shakur talked shit hard on people, and some other guy shot him because the other guy's a pussy and let the words get to him instead of just talking more shit back. Oh!
How did that happen?
Sorry about that. Fucking
no,
Shanks,
I
man.
turned the corner, I shot the Shanks, they
Yeah.
exploded, and then you ran past me and died.
Yeah.
From the shock
Bungie
of it all? I
servers.
mean,
Oh, wait. Servers.
Monty must be the host.
what?
It's your fault, Monty, yet again.
Wait, I feel
It's
like
like-
it's not.
Remember in you've seen Princess Bride, right? Everyone's seen that movie.
Yeah.
At the end of the movie, he's
Yeah.
like, Physic, you finally do something right. It's like, dude, what has he been doing wrong this whole time? He fucking saved your ass when you were shit-faced. Guy's been doing shit right the whole movie. Not killing Carrie Elwes, fucking Robin Hood, with a rock.
Right.
It's like Monty. Monty fucked up yet again. He's been doing perfectly fine the whole time.
And Blizzard deserves to get shit on for other things, not this
Yes.
fucking thing.
Gaming related. Let's talk gaming related fuck ups. How about buy the game, buy the expansions, pay a subscription, and buy the ridiculous microtransactions. And if you want to manage your account at all with all your different friends who may have came and gone over the last 15 years.
$25, please.
Yeah, what you want to just boost a character so you don't have to do it for the 50th time? That's $60. Buy the game again.
Well, yeah.
Here's
$60
a mount
for one character to get to max level. That's what they think that time investment is. $60. Are you fucking kidding me? The fucking price of the fucking game?
What? You know what the sad part is? Is like people start out. I've done this before. I'm not proud, but I've done this before. And I start a new character with conviction, right? I'm like, I'm gonna just fucking power level this character.
And you don't even get.
And then the longer I play, the more I want to spend $60 to get the boost. But the longer I play, the more of a waste it is because I'm getting closer to the max.
Well, they used to be even worse about it. They used to be massive assholes about it. The systems have changed this to where it's pointless now because the way professions work in WoW now is you pick up a profession per expansion. You used to have to, in a game that's like 6 fucking expansions deep, we're on patch 8.3 right now. 9.0 is coming. That's the number of iterations of the game, 2.0 being the first expansion. So you're sitting here on 8 fucking expansions almost, and every fucking expansion, they add another 100 levels to a fucking profession with a bunch of new recipes and shit. You used to have to level up that profession to 0 through all the expansion content, go back through old.
Yeah, you either had to do it while you were leveling or go back and spend a lot of time picking flowers. It's a lot of busy work. It doesn't need to be there. Work.
So what's
plenty of grindy shit in that game.
In one of the latest expansions, they did a great idea. They made it to where it was separated by expansion. So if right now you pick up a profession, you do Battle for Azeroth expansion stuff. You don't even have to have the lower ranks. You don't have to level it up because it's leveled up based off the expansion. It's individual leveling per expansion. So if you want the old expansion stuff, you can go get that. But you don't have to. You can just completely fucking ignore it. That's great. Well, the system's still in place there, but what they used to have you do is when you got a boost, if you boosted from 0 to max, you didn't get anything extra. But if you were level 60, your professions would be maxed out with you when you boosted.
Yeah.
So they would expect you to level all the way up to 60 and then boost for, catch this, 30 levels. Because that's when they
Jesus
put that
Christ,
shit
Blizzard.
in. Like, come the fuck on.
Do you see how much it is for like pets and other useless shit?
Well, another thing that pisses me off is they keep putting these fucking mounts. People get upset that they put mounts on the mount store, and yeah, rightfully so. You should be upset.
Are people getting upset at that?
Because a lot of people are upset. The problem is that there's too many girls that play the game that just keep buying that shit, or too many losers that buy that shit for their girlfriends. It's whatever, but like, I mean, I get it. You want to buy the mount and everything. That's fine, but $25, you don't understand value.
You want to mount your girlfriend, so you buy her a mount.
I mean, back in the day, I bought that Celestial Steed because it was either that or one other equally lame mount.
Well, to be fair, back in the day, we didn't like. It wasn't a comprehensive thing. We weren't.
Well, no, back in the day, you needed a flying mount. You used to have to work for your flying mount, and it was a lot easier to just buy it and have one, It wasn't like that. Like your character, it shared characters. Like that was huge at the time. Account-wide mounts, that wasn't a thing with every mount.
I had
only
couple,
the ones you bought.
Yes, so they would come in your mailbox, and that was great.
But like as soon as you were leveling a new character and you needed to fly, you always had a mount.
I definitely bought a couple of those in the beginning because I didn't think it was going to be a massive thing. Usually it had something to do with like, charity or something. I was naive to assume that this was going to not last, shit like that. I was wrong.
What else? You want to...
I'm finishing up what I said. So okay, let's just put this in perspective for people that don't play WoW. You buy the game. Right now it's a battle pack where they typically put the previous expansion into it. So you can get all the way up to the current expansion with the battle pack for like $40 or something like that. Sometimes it'll go on sale and be super fucking cheap. Then you have to buy the current expansion. Okay, and then you have to pay a $15 a month subscription fee to access the game. Now, currently, you get Battle for Azeroth, and you get Classic WoW. Wow, amazing! If you're into that, so I'm not going to undersell that. So that's cool, I guess. That's an addition. And then, if you want these mounts that they make and don't put into the game, I mean, they put them in the game, but you got to buy them from the store for $25. So you pay $60, $40, $15, and then the game developer, instead of building a mount for you for all of that money you're giving them, they build it and put it on their store for $25.
Yeah.
Not for $5, not for $1, not for $10, for $25. That's criminal. I mean, I'm not
Apparently
saying
not.
they should go to jail for it, but that's some criminal-esque shit. And Blizzard gets barely any negative feedback over this. Oh, Hong Kong? Fucking what the fuck?
Well, maybe they will now.
Oh, but store? Yeah, that's fine. That's cool. Not worried about it. No big deal. $25 anyway. So you're paying, it's such a, and Asmongold talks about this, is one of the things I agree with him on. It's such a cuckold situation. It's a giant cuck situation. Blizzard is fucking your wife in front of you in the ass, and you're just like, I guess I'll take it. I guess I'll sit here. And if you buy it, that's exactly, you're just committing to that. If you buy that. And so, I mean, that's just fucking ridiculous. I'm not saying it should be free, but I already paid for it. I paid for it in purchasing the $15 a month. Back in the day, MMOs would give you, you know why they had a sub thing in MMOs back in the day? Seth, don't you call me cutie, you fat. I'll tell you why. Because the idea was most games were built and then shipped. And maybe if it was a PC game, maybe you'd get some patching later on out of the kindness of the developer's fucking heart.
It's because constant maintenance and content.
Set a reputation. But MMOs allowed the concept of constant updates and fixes and content going forward. So in order to do that, you had to continue paying your development team. So normally what you'd do is you'd get an investment of money from a publisher. They'd say, here's several $1 million. And that $1 million is given in increments. It's not given all in one sum. It's giving an increment. Like a paycheck would be given through any business system that has a hand down business. Your boss doesn't hold on to the money. The income comes in, and that is distributed amongst all the aspects of the company, including you and the other employees you work with. So that's what's happening in a developer studio. The publisher is paying them monthly or bi-weekly or whatever they do for all the things they need. And it's a video game. So most of the assets that they need, if they're not buying an engine or renting an engine, is just paying employees so they could fucking go home and eat and sleep and have food and not, have their lights turned on and shit like that for the 6 years that it takes to build a fucking video game. In this case, an MMO. It takes about 6 years to build an MMO. Some game, even like single player games these days think about how long they've been working on The Last of Us Part 2, or how long they worked on God of War, the new one. Like really high end AAA games, yeah, the shitty ones can be pumped out in a year. That's why Call of Duty loves making games like that, because they don't have to put a lot of money behind. Activision loves that. They don't have to put a bunch of money behind it, and it produces quickly. And what's the side effect of that? Shittier game, pretty much just a reskin of what you've already had. But when you get a new fucking game, like even like Destiny, look at how long it took Bungie to make Destiny 1. That's a lot of years that a publisher is paying someone without getting any return. So that's happening. And then the game comes out and makes money off predominantly sales. And I don't mean S-A-L-E, I mean S-E-L-L, sells. Well, it's S-A-L-E, but the game sells to the public, and that's it. That's traditionally how games were distributed. There was no income aside. You might get income down the road with, like, people buying the game years from now, just whatever, it's $20 now instead of the initial 40 or 60 or whatever. And so you're getting a little bit extra. Hey, that's nice. That's a little sugar on the, it's a little icing on the cake. It's like a movie. Movies do that too, right? But they really care about that box office money because they want to make that money back quickly so they can justify giving more money to the same studio to produce more shit. Because the idea isn't that you break even. If you have $100 and you lend it to me with the aspect that I'm the only aspect, not that I need it to survive, but that I'm going to make you more money. That obviously that's the point, right? What other fucking reason would I be giving you money unless you're going to make me more money? This isn't a fucking charity or a soup kitchen. I'm not just giving you money for fun. I'm giving you money to help me make money. So if I give you that investment and you make a return on that, I'm going to trust you to continue to make returns. This is a great example of what Bungie is. Bungie makes Halo. It's successful. It's widely popular. They separate from Microsoft. Activision's like, yes, gobble that up because those motherfuckers make returns. They produce Destiny 1 and Activision's like, what the fuck is going on? And Bungie's like, sorry. Listen, we got this. Give us another chance. Activision's like, okay, we've seen your history. We're giving you another chance. They give him another chance. What the fuck did we just do? Let these guys want to be let go, let them go. And I have a hard time believing that Bungie was like, can we be independent? And Activision's like, yeah. It's an easier time for me to understand that Activision was going, we need to get rid of these motherfuckers. They're costing us a lot of money. And then they went to Bungie, and then Bungie just published it as we asked.
I mean, honestly, people should be amazed that Activision did it so chill as they did, right? Like Activision was like, well, yep, it's totally mutual. They're going to go their own way. Right? That's all we're going to say about it. And then they could have even came back later and said, like, yeah, Bungie fucked up and we lost a lot of money.
They could have, but they didn't.
They're just taking all the shit people are throwing at them, and they're just biting their tongue.
Good guy.
Good for them.
They're making all that Call of Duty money. They don't give a fuck about Bungie.
They could be totally fucking over Bungie right now.
I mean, they give a fuck about the money that Bungie lost them, is what I mean.
Oh, yeah, sure, but
you better believe they let Bungie go, and they were nice enough to not make it a public spectacle to ruin Bungie's reputation. They didn't want to Konami that shit. Okay, so that's the classic standard. And then your team moves on to make the next fucking game with whatever money, not necessarily whatever money they made back, because that money goes to the publisher. If you're an indie developer, that money goes to your pockets, and you survive off of that money while you make the next game, unless you're fucking Stardew Valley and you never have to make another game in your life, because you're a fucking millionaire. Okay, so Bungie makes, let's say hypothetically, Destiny 1 makes a bunch of money back for Activision. Activision is like, yes, you did a great job. You made us more money. We got more money coming in. We're growing, because the goal as a business is always to grow. If you plateau, you risk going downhill, and going downhill is negative. So you always want to grow. It's the same for being a streamer. As a streamer, you always want to grow, because even if you plateau out, you could start going downhill. So you never want to be on that area where you could potentially go down.
Your biggest enemy.
That's right. That's correct. So you always want to grow. It's not about greed. It's about survival. Okay, so, and by the way, it's survival in the sense that it's the same aspect that if you're growing a lot of crop yield for you and your family to survive on, you never want to just be happy with just enough to survive. If you do that, you might hit a bump. And when you hit that bump, it could cause you to all die and starve. And it's the same concept here. Always grow. That way, if bumps are hit, like some shitty company like Bungie coming into your life and fucking it up, you can at least survive and recover from that, because you were always growing. So yeah, you're not growing right now and you hit a little bit of a bump, but you'll bounce back from it because you already got systems in place to grow. Okay, so now Bungie wants to make Destiny 2 because Destiny 1 was so hypothetically good. All right, what now? So the publisher gives them money again, keeps basically by giving them paychecks. So continues to give them paychecks and doesn't let them go or dissolve their studio, which, by the way, Activision had every right to dissolve Bungie and move people to other fucking studios that Activision owns. They had every right to do that, but they didn't. Terrible company though, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so MMOs bring this new aspect and dynamic years and years ago where what if as Blizzard, who doesn't have a publisher, what if instead of making Warcraft 4 and just making money off that so we can continue to pay people that work for us so that then we can make Diablo 3, what if we make an MMO? And an MMO was already on the market as this idea that you make the game and then you keep supporting the game. You just require people to pay you monthly. So now it's basically this makes the player base the publisher. It's the same concept. In an MMO, the player base is the publisher. You are investing in Blizzard to provide your game that you love with content and free fixes and updates. That's the way it works. And so when you have a and now the point that I'm getting to here is they're supposed to be having like tons of content. That's what that $15 is for. Content and fixes. And at some point, Blizzard, if you look back at vanilla, the reason why people harken back and love vanilla and remember is because look at some of the patch cycles in vanilla. Dire Maul, right? Blackwing Lair, Anchorage 40 Man, Nax Ramas, fucking Moradin. All these different patches, even ones that included just fucking dungeon. Now what do? You get an expansion comes out and then like 3 major patches and then you're done. Next expansion. Because they're desperately trying to figure out a way that they can continue to charge you $40 every year. That's what they're desperately trying to do. They're trying to do the Call of Duty method. That's why their expansions suck so bad. Because they keep trying to just pump out one every year. If you look back on Blizzard's history as somebody that was a part of World of Warcraft for the entirety that it's ever existed, I don't think I've been unsubscribed for like a total of maybe 8 to 12 months total over the past 15 years. I've given these guys thousands of dollars, okay, for relatively nothing. Okay, because if you look back on their history, one of the things that they were doing for a long period there, and they talked about it openly at their BlizzCon panels and shit, is trying to find out a way that they could, release an expansion and still deliver content to people while working on the next expansion. That's the balance that you have to find. And the bigger your team, the more money you need, by the way. So it's an exponential fail type situation. You're sitting here trying to, okay, we add more people. Okay, well, now we need more money. So we got to, shit. We fucked ourselves. Now what Blizzard does is they develop the entire expansion out and rough out most of the stuff. And then they send the expansion launches. They put most of their team on the next expansion. And then a smaller team fleshes out all the details and crunches all the way to each patch cycle being released. And we can see this through data mining efforts and things like that all the fucking time. And this is okay, but it's a problem when Blizzard comes along and says, hey, you're paying us $15 a month. You're investing in us. You're our publisher right now. We're supposed to be using that money to develop content for you. We did. We had one of our guys develop a new mount. It looks fucking amazing. It's super unique compared to all the other mounts. It's $25 on our store. That's a problem. That's a major
go to a planet or something. So
I mean, tell me where you want to go.
I don't really have any missions. It's just gear grinding. The Reckoning Tier 2 or Menagerie, or we just go to planets in order and do the bounties. Because that gives you a lot of XP.
So, that's where Blizzard is at with their bullshit.
Well, maybe now people will stop being so disillusioned. Well, maybe there is some good that'll come out of this whole China fiasco.
No, nothing's going to come out of it. The reason why Blizzard gave the money back was to try and shut people up and tone it down.
No, I mean in the sense that maybe now that people aren't so buttfucky over Blizzard.
No, you talked about this. It won't be talked about again for. You give it a couple days, it won't be talked about. It'll disappear.
Well, I said 3 days last week. I was wrong about that. So
well, it wasn't last week. It was 3 days ago or some shit.
I thought it was last podcast. Was it not?
No.
Well, I guess we didn't talk. We talked about Destiny the whole time.
No, absolutely not. It was like 3 fucking days ago or some shit. I mean, okay, so I think what Blizzard was worried about was they got BlizzCon at November 1st. They were worried about people coming up and talking shit. Because it's a big problem. Yes, China is a communist country, and they don't like people talking bad about their government. That's what communism is. You know, if certain people that are espousing that right now in our political system got in power, it'd be the same way. We already see signs of it, right? We see examples of it already. We were just talking about it. If you say things that are anti-Hong Kong, or if you don't agree 100% that China is a problem, or that Blizzard is morally incorrect by what they've done, what happens? Well, you're ousted as an outsider and morally wrong and incorrect and need to be punished. It's the same thing China does. We just made that example. You're no different than the Chinese government doing this shit to Hong Kong. And there are people in our country that are already trying to push that kind of agenda of don't say certain words. You're not allowed to say certain words. You're not allowed to have certain political opinions, or else you're evil or you're bad. That's what China does. If you say anything against their government, you're considered evil. You're considered bad. You're a political prisoner. You need to be locked up. Let's do the ordeal.
Okay.
So, so China.
What's the shit this week?
Is going to have a problem with Blizzard having people come to BlizzCon and say that. So what's going to happen? Well, I don't think BlizzCon's that big of an issue because I don't know how many people in China watch it. I don't know how the broadcasting in China is done. I don't know if Blizzard makes a lot of money off virtual tickets in China. I don't know. I don't think they need virtual ticket money. I mean, BlizzCon existed for a long time before the virtual ticket, and they were just fine putting their whole show together and stuff like that. I think the virtual ticket is just a way for them to make a little bit of money.
Yeah, well, imagine if E3 was like, hey, get your virtual ticket. Oh, you can buy your real ticket, but then also, if you even want to watch it online.
Well, it's only for panels, which I get it. People were upset. This is one of those fucking things that comes from these asshole people that are
you only have to wait.
Selfish.
People are going to report on it right after it happens. You know,
well, the main reason why this shit came about is because these fucking piece of shit elitist fucking assholes that buy the tickets and they go sold out in like a half second were going to BlizzCon, and they were upset that they were having to pay for tickets and then people were just getting to watch it for free from home. Which
what?
It's just such a fucking stupid ass thing to be upset about, because you get to
that's how everything works. So you
play
pay
the games. You get to go there and play the games and all this shit. And you're the one that chose to buy the fucking ticket, you know. It's not like you're forced into it. You could stay home and watch it as well. So, and I understand that Blizzard probably looked at that and went, well, we should probably have some kind of system in place so that people want to buy tickets and not just stay home and watch it. So they incorporated that idea. You still get to see the opening ceremony where all the announcements are made, but you don't get to watch the panels that like reveal all the little details, even though they're going to be fucking covered on news sites anyways. So I don't know what the point is. Really, the only point to go to BlizzCon is, well, there is no
the point. Experience, right? If you really want that. I mean, I don't.
Collaboration. It's a great place to find collaboration if you're a streamer or something like that, or maybe talk to developers.
I don't play enough Blizzard games.
I don't play any Blizzard games. I might be interested in Warcraft 3 remake, maybe. But yeah, I don't play any myself.
You might have liked Overwatch, Monty.
That was a mistake.
From what I understand, Overwatch is a lot like this game, where there's a huge time to kill.
But you would have liked it because you don't really. If you can't aim, it's perfect because there's a lot of characters you don't have to aim with. You can just heal if you
can't fucking aim.
Well, no, I'm saying you complain a lot about. You complain about it a lot.
I complain just because the time to kill, like, you know, when it comes down to it, whenever I played Call of Duty games, I played hardcore modes because I enjoy shooting at someone and watching them fucking die when they get killed.
Don't take that out of context.
I mean,
I enjoy shooting people and watching them die.
I enjoy killing everyone.
I mean, in comparison to fucking Destiny, where when I shoot someone, you know, they just slap me in the face.
I mean, that's Overwatch.
I'm not a fucking serial killer, people.
That's the problem with Overwatch, is Overwatch became a team shoot. Overwatch was great in the beginning. Overwatch was the savior of fucking FPS games because it was made by Blizzard and the gunplay is fucking really good, which is pretty standard with Blizzard. Blizzard is really good at making engines. They're really good at making a game feel smooth and responsive. That's part of the reason why World of Warcraft's so great. It feels responsive. You hit a button and it just does what you want it to do. It's not like some of these other MMOs where it like queues up some shit and you got to wait for it to play through. And Overwatch plays is good, if not better, than Destiny's shooting. It's just as good, I think.
Well, you can't ADS on a lot of characters.
Well, certain heroes you can, but yeah, it's got that classic no ADS stuff on a lot of things. But they did that because there's a lot of character that allows them to have characters that are unique in terms of the ADS system.
Yeah,
which I think is fine. It becomes almost like a benefit for certain characters. Like Hanzo doesn't need to ADS, let's be honest, right? Like
well, it draws his bow, right? How does that work? No. I don't remember what right click does for Hanzo.
Right click, oh fuck. I don't
I think it just unknocks your bow or something.
Yeah, it unknocks the bow. Yeah. There is no ADS on Hanzo. You draw the bow back, he kind of shoots it from the hip. And it's very accurate and it feels good.
But you know, it doesn't feel good playing Hanzo and having to get shit on by everyone on the team before the game starts.
Well, so it was what I was saying. The game started out great. I remember the beta. I played the beta. The beta was fucking great. Everybody could kill everybody. I remember watching videos they released of like the dev team playing shit, and they'd have like Zenyatta getting play of the game and shit like that because you could do that easily. Like you could get a play of the game with any fucking character. Any character, you could get play of the game. That's how, and it was not based off of run out from nowhere as Mercy and get a resurrection. Mercy was probably the only character that you couldn't get a play of the game with because she never really had a weapon. She just had that pistol, whatever.
And then they just started automatically giving her play of the game when she rezzed anyone, like more than two people.
So then the game releases, and this is the problem with Blizzard, is they listen to their fan base. I'm a big proponent of not listening to your fan base to a large degree. If you have something that works, don't listen to feedback.
I mean, if there's a general consensus,
no,
maybe,
fuck that, Monty.
Because not everyone participates.
That's the problem. It's like, I get it. I understand, Monty. I agree with you to that degree.
There's a difference to a general consensus of your gaming.
Well, most people that are happy with the game aren't going to be complaining about it online. So all they're going to hear are the negative sides.
Yeah, I mean, have fucking surveys and. I don't know.
So here's the problem.
Like put a survey in the menus. You're like, hey,
listening to player feedback is kind of like giving the government your tax dollars. At first, it sounds like a good idea, but eventually, they just keep taking as much as they want. There's no limit.
Just have a prompt in the menu one day, like, hey. Take the survey if you have an issue with our game. If you don't, then don't take the survey.
That's the problem.
And they'll have the numbers. Who doesn't take the survey? Who does?
Right, but that's the problem. Is sometimes the majority are the fucking idiots.
Well, that's the majority of people have it be like take the survey or don't. If you don't have an issue with the game, don't take the survey. Then there you have it. Yeah, the amount of people that have seen this message and clicked no, I'm not going to take the survey, then. Well,
they just listen to Reddit.
Isn't a fucking issue. Yeah,
I mean, when I remember during Legion, Blizzard.
Games, the time I go to Reddit, it's when I'm complaining about something.
Listen to this. Blizzard fucking nerfed Fire Mages pretty bad for no fucking reason. And people were kind of flipping out about it. And one of the community managers came out and said, like, one of the places they get their feedback from is trade chat. Now, you don't play WoW, so you don't know about trade chat, but it is the scum of the earth. It really is.
It's so stupid. So Overwatch comes out. It's amazing. It's this great game for people that want a game like that. Everybody starts playing it. And by everybody, I mean, just go to Overwatch on Twitch and watch how many girl gamers are playing it because it's so fucking easy to play because Blizzard had this mentality when they first launched it of it should be for everyone. It's a shooter for everyone. If you're not a good Twitch shooter, you can be Mercy and you can just fly in there and resurrect people and heal people like a little bitch. And that's exactly what happened. Is it drew in a lot of the World of Warcraft crowd of people that just suck at video games and shouldn't be doing anything related to a fucking first-person shooter. And they fell in love with it because the game looks good. The fucking little cinematics they would release were fucking heart-tugging and
it's the same people that get really attached to fictional characters rather than just, I'm going to play this character because
video game dogs.
I like the kit and I like how I need it right now.
It's so cute. Look at the kittens in Destiny 2. Oh my god, I'm going to sit here next to it and take a picture and upload it on Reddit. Found a new friend, guys. Found a new friend.
And Blizzard kind of encourages that whole mentality with their
listen to the majority of the feedback. The majority of the feedback was, I die too quickly. I don't get play of the game often enough as characters like Mercy. For those that don't know who Mercy is in Overwatch, Mercy is a character who has a staff. If you hold left click on the staff, it auto targets people and heals them if they're in your cone of vision. And if you hold right click, it gives them a damage boost. If you hit E, you fly towards people a short distance. And your ultimate is you resurrect people when they're dead. That's what it was originally. She has a pistol that barely does any damage just because, maybe she might.
It's just to generate super in desperate moments, really.
Right. So that's her kit. These people were complaining that they weren't getting play of the game ever. So Blizzard made it to where resurrections counted as points towards play of the game instead of just kills and damage. And they started making other factors like assists and support stuff and all that. So then you started getting play of the games where the play of the game would be the player is playing Mercy, which became the meta of just hiding behind a wall until your team died instead of healing.
And then your team tries to die in a pile.
Super. They die in a pile on purpose and then resurrect because the game got so out of control with fucking damage that it would take supers to kill entire teams. And then you'd burn your supers to kill the other team, and then Mercy would just come in and undo 4 people's supers, and then now your team can
on the point
start using their.
So everyone's fighting on the point,
and that's what it became. It was supposed to be a new Team Fortress that played better, and it was until Blizzard fucked it up, and it just became all about damage. And it became all about damage to the point that the meta was 3 tanks, 1 healer, 1 DPS, and then eventually 3 tanks, 2 healers,
2 support.
I thought you could support. Yeah, sorry. In that.
Yeah, you can.
After that, it turned into 3 tanks, 3 support, 0 DPS.
I thought it was just.
And here's where the big problem started coming in. People that shouldn't be competitive were being competitive, and playing characters like Mercy while bitching at people for playing the DPS and not doing good enough. So if you played Pharah's a character that flies in the air with a rocket pack. She shoots rockets, and that's her thing. She's very hard to deal with because she flies around. A very skilled player can keep in the air.
She kind of one-shots a lot of people.
A very skilled player can lead targets really well and keep themselves in the air constantly. There are a few characters that excel in taking her out. Those characters require tracking and precision aiming skills. Not many people can do this.
While not getting shot with a fucking rocket.
While not being shot with a rocket. If you aren't capable of taking out the Pharah because she's better than you, you're just...
Well, it has damage fall off, so you're using these characters that aren't particularly great at long range, trying to shoot someone at long range, And they can, at any point, just fly away.
So Overwatch started devolving into a game of running away and not dying, just like Destiny 2 fucking PvP. And tanks becoming gods and healers being the thing, and the entire community became extremely toxic towards each other because anybody that dared play a character that they just enjoy playing instead of the meta was a piece of shit. And if you played quick play, it was just a fucking bunch of idiots running around doing nothing. And
people started getting really sweaty in quick play.
And these are people that don't have any business being sweaty. Like, no business
whatsoever.
Whatsoever.
It's Overwatch.
They're not
even after they came out
game.
with competitive, people were still getting really fucking sweaty.
I don't know how many times we would go in and I'd play Genji and I'd be doing a pretty good job at getting back behind the enemy and disrupting them, as you're supposed to do as a flank. And, you know,
no one capitalizes.
Night Terror here would be playing Hanzo, and he'd be dropping people for the majority of the time. And then there'd be a Pharah who would get sniped out of the air by him a couple times. And then the fucking guy playing Mercy on our team would die once or twice in a row to the Pharah and get triggered and immediately start blaming Hanzo. And now now the whole team is tilting, and now we've lost the fucking match.
And it's Hanzo's fault.
It's just a spiral, and it just devolves into it's Hanzo's fault. And because he's playing the healer. Now, they've gone to links to fix things. I wouldn't mind going back and messing with it at some point, because they got a thing now where you lock in not your character, but you lock in your role. They really need to do lock in your character, because locking in your role is still a problem, because it still is going to lead to people going, stop playing Hanzo and play 76. Oh boy, that's fun. I like playing the character that his only ability is shooting a fucking gun.
I mean, it's familiar. And
it plays really well, and it's really fun to play with friends. One of the most fun things I had was just playing against each other and like 2v2s and shit.
Yeah, the custom games were fun. Remember, we were trying to get like the perfect balance because they let you tweak all the values. That was fun.
Yeah.
It was way better.
They
could totally balance again.
Yeah, they have a ton of customization options in custom games. And you can do some really fun shit. You can do some crazy game. It's almost like in Blizzard style. It's almost like how StarCraft would just eventually allow you to make games that weren't even intended to be played in that engine.
And that capture the flag for a while, which wasn't great. And Blizzard was like, look, it's not in the game because it's not great. You could try it. Here, don't take it too seriously. People are like, this is great. And they're like, okay. And we were just like, it's not that great.
It's not great. Look, I mean, I don't know how many times I play Pharah a lot. So it was just so easy to capture the flag as Pharah. Oh, I have your flag and I'm flying away now. I think they eventually had to make changes where you drop the flag if you boost in the air and shit.
Yeah. And that's why it was silly. It's kind of why, I mean, I'm glad that they have the free-for-all mode or whatever now. But, I mean, only about a third of the characters get played. I mean, that's why they didn't want to have any modes that would make it shitty for certain characters. They wanted everyone to be an option, but there's no reason to go into free-for-all mode as Mercy. You're at a disadvantage if you go in as like Zenyatta or Symmetra or something. Unless you're fucking god tier. You want to go play Overwatch?
All right.
Just try it.
It's free to play. I mean,
it's not free. We have already bought it once.
I thought they had a free mode to it or something like that.
It doesn't matter. We already bought it. Part of the deal was that we buy it and we get everything forever.
I know, but I was talking about Monty.
You don't have Overwatch? Oh, that's right. You said. Oh man.
Should definitely get that and play it with us. I mean, we should do that this month. It's not bad. Like, how much is it right now? I'm pretty sure there's a free mode or some shit. Let's invest. All right, stream. Shut the fuck up for a second. Overwatch is great though because
we'll just turn off voice chat so we can just play.
Overwatch is one of those games that could totally been complete pieces of shit about it, and been like, oh yeah, we just like all these other MOBAs and shit. A new hero comes out and you have to buy the new hero, but they were like, no, you buy it for $40 and you get everything forever. I mean,
not
included.
Cosmetics and stuff. This is where they make all their money.
Yeah.
But people even bitched about that. We've already talked about that on a podcast.
So the Legendary Edition is $40. It comes with, what's the difference between the Legendary Edition? You get 5 Epic and 5 Legendary skins, which they've changed and updated over time. That's pretty interesting. You get some Overwatch hero skins. That's the ones that we were given. You get the Heroes of the Storm Tracer hero for a different game. You get Diablo, 3 Mercy Wings, blah, blah, blah. So if you get this, so the standard version of this game that gives you all the characters and shit, and you just don't get any skins that comes with it, is $20. That's pretty good. You can gift it to people too. I'm just throwing that up.
Yeah.
Now they do sale. They do sales and shit. LOL. I don't know.
Tell you what,
like
I'm feeling generous. I'll gift it. I'll gift it to you, Monty, if you want to play it.
No.
Well, come on now, because you can. We don't have to play. We're not going to play against people and be.
You guys know how much I hate team shooters. You know this. I can't do it.
But
if you buy me that game, you are wasting your money.
I don't think that's true. I think you would actually like it because it's not just a team shooter. There's so many different roles in this game.
How do we turn around and get fucking Monty to try to actually get Overwatch?
Well, what I'm trying to explain is, so in Destiny 2, everything's about team shooting because that's what you do. Your class really doesn't mean much. In Overwatch, there are tank, support, damage, and defender. I mean, they combine to defender and damage, but there's classes where you don't even shoot people. There's a whole trifecta of shit there. Like if you play Zenyatta, yeah, you can throw orbs at people's head and do a lot of damage, but you're not expected to do that. You're expected to put an orb on somebody so they get healed, and put an orb on an enemy so that they take more damage. That's really what you're expected to do, and hit your super button to save people's lives. That's it.
And try to stay alive and pelt balls into the group. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna install it.
Why did that just play? What just happened? What the fuck?
What the fuck? What are you trying to do?
An audio file just played, like somebody subscribed to me or something, or followed. I think that was a follow, and I don't have follows showing up, but the audio played for some reason. Why did that happen? That's not supposed to happen. But it didn't show up in an activity feed. I have that sound effect on voice mod, but I didn't hit any buttons. Or did Monty play it? I don't know what's going on.
I didn't play shit.
I've been getting that too. I've been getting sub sounds, and then I look over and it's just like, who the fuck is that?
Thing.
No, yeah. I think it's YouTube for me.
YouTube?
Yeah, when people sub on YouTube, I think I still get.
Yeah, but where's the audio coming from is what I'm saying.
Oh, is OBS open?
Yeah, I think it's OBS.
It's probably a notification.
Yeah.
Of some kind.
But the weird thing is I didn't get anything in my activity feed on my dashboard. Maybe it doesn't show follows. Well, it's supposed to show follows. I don't fucking know. It's probably an OBS bug. Hey, your name is really dark blue. Gabriel Paradise. Yeah, let's do it, man. Get him the fucking game. Fuck it. Worst case is he doesn't play it. I disagree. Don't lie to me, Monty. I think I disagree.
Overwatch is coming to Switch.
Oh God, how big is this game?
20 gigs.
It's gonna take a while.
Nah, not on BattleNet.
Are we even doing a podcast right now?
Yeah. We didn't have a whole lot to talk about. This is like the come down from last week's fucking rage fest at Destiny.
All right. Well, since we're done with Resident Evil 0 and shit for the day, it's a 3-hour little short stream, I guess, on a Sunday.
So what do you get for the Legendary Edition?
You just get some skins. Don't get the Legend. Worthless. Stop changing scenes. It's worthless.
I agree. It's worthless.
Monty, you're going to like this game. You're going to be my pocket healer.
Yeah.
You're going to pocket healer and learn to fly behind me as like my little bitch. I'm going to be up in the air shooting rockets down, and you're going to be right there with me. Flying around with your golden wings.
Why the fuck do I have to be the person that doesn't shoot anything?
You don't have to be. I'm just saying. Fine, be the guy that shoots. I'll follow you around and not shoot and have no stress with it. It's the most, like, the reason why we stopped playing Overwatch is because fucking Hanzo here can't play something that doesn't shoot people. He just doesn't have a good time.
No. I was doing all right as some tanks and stuff.
At the end there, I was just playing tanks and healers.
I'm not good at support because I'm not good at not having a whole lot of health if I can't deal a lot of damage to. I could do
Monty,
tanks pretty good.
Something. I spent the last amount of time playing Overwatch. I spent that roller skating on walls.
Oh yeah, Lucio, you can just roller skate around. People get healed just by being near you.
Yeah.
So you just have to be near people.
Boot people back off ledges and shit. Great. You're not expected to kill anybody or even heal anybody because they're expected to be near you. That's it. It's so great.
I don't even know. There are new heroes that
not the game. The problem with this game is the community, and I don't know what the community is like right now. Since
honestly,
I
think
changes.
This game would be fun if we had 6 people that would be willing to dip in.
Well,
if we just had a full team.
People, we could be raiding on Destiny.
Well, yeah, and also playing Overwatch when we can't raid.
We need to make more friends. Does anyone listening want to be our friend and think they can handle this on a daily basis?
Yes, Seth G. What the fuck are you doing every day?
Playing Counter-Strike and League of Legends.
Well, also play another game, Destiny 2. Not worth it. Don't buy it.
Guess who?
Listen, if
the thing is that there are people in the Clan SSB section of Discord who do play Destiny. I just don't know who they are. You know,
yeah,
like we had a lot of one-timers. We had a lot of people that just dipped in for the raid and then left and were like, "Hey, thanks for the raid, you."
True, that's true.
You have a chat or
Yeah, I said hi to him.
Oh.
I'm trying out this new dark mode. So I couldn't see his name at first because it's dark blue, but that's fine. I think he's here for Resident Evil, but I'm done with Resident Evil for the day.
Were you streaming Destiny 2 under the Resident Evil category?
Yeah, we barely played it. We were just doing a podcast. I didn't give shit. Whatever, man.
I fucking rebel. God damn it.
Listen, if you're coming around here and going, "Hey, this guy's playing Resident Evil," and I'm not playing Resident Evil today, I'm sorry, but we're doing Resident Evil all through October. Like, I play Resident Evil games.
Yeah,
so
I got him. See, I would play,
and if you see I'm playing Resident Evil, come in. And if you don't like what I'm playing, that's okay. I'm totally fine with you. Listen, I watch Twitch all the time. I'm a big time Twitch viewer. I get it. I got a lot of people I'm subscribed to. I fucking hardly watch because they're playing shit games right now. I've been subscribed to Idme JP for like 60-something months. I haven't watched him in a year because I don't know what the fuck he's doing. Right now he's playing Destiny 2.
Wow.
I don't even like that game. God damn it. Oh, Jesus. We're back at it.
Monty, did you get my gift?
I don't know. I never have that thing open because there's no games to play on it.
Monty.
Don't be a bitch.
You just fucking ruined it for me. I was so happy. I'm like, I now have zero reason to have this fucking launcher.
Yeah, but then you said
That's
Warcraft 3. You're probably going to be playing Call of Duty, right?
Warfare.
No, the reason why I haven't bought any fucking Call of Duty games is because it's on fucking Battle.net. I hate having 20 different fucking game launchers. I hate having all these different fucking game launchers. It's stupid.
Oh, but okay, I'm going to help you out. What you do is you open up Steam and you add non-Steam games. You point.
Great. I'm still gonna have to have this stupid fucking launcher on my goddamn computer, sending me goddamn notifications whenever one of you fucks want to play Overwatch.
What's wrong with that?
Everything.
You know you can turn notifications off.
Yeah, but then you'll bother me in Discord about it.
What the fuck are you talking about? You just keep moving the goddamn
Monty, if you don't want to be here, why are you here?
It's just I don't see myself enjoying this fucking Overwatch game. That's it.
Just keep an open mind. Well,
too much.
I couldn't even understand what you said, so I guess not.
Oh, okay, fine.
He said he was going to you.
Yeah, you little baby back bitch, some bitch. You wanna go 1-on-1 right now? See who's the best? Fight me in Overwatch, real life.
I'm going to shoot you 40 times in the head. That's how in real life.
In real life, that's how that works. Man, if only real war was like video game war. Ew, oh my god, did you get shot in the head? Yeah, I'm okay though. I got a med kit.
No, here's how it would happen. People would go out there, unload all their ammo on one fucking guy and be like, I'm out of ammo, and run back and be like, I don't think these weapons are effective. And then they'd come up with more advanced weapons.
How many guys did you kill? Well, I had 4 magazines. I got 4 guys. Fucking Jesus. Has the podcast ended? Is this still...
No, it can end now. Please follow us everywhere on Twitch. I'm on Mixer. They're on Twitch still.
I'm streaming on Twitch right now.
Yeah.
But not after the podcast is over. But
The Night Terror, The Gambler, and Monty 4G63. We're playing Overwatch this week.
He plays car games and hates Overwatch.
And if you like the podcast, rate it, leave a review. We'll start reading comments if we ever get comments. Just make sure that it's legible.
If you like a guy who can kind of shoot really well and likes Resident Evil games, Night Terror is your guy. If you like a person that gets a little too political sometimes and can be a complete douchebag,
that's
I'm
Monty.
your guy. If you like somebody who judges shit before they ever fucking play it, then Monty4G63 at twitch.tv is your fucking dude, my dude.
Also, if you like masochism, that's me too.
Perfect. You're going to play Overwatch.
You're
great. Pretty good. Surprise, motherfucker.
Cool. Oh, shit. Anywho, that's the podcast. Thanks for listening.
I'm kind of retarded.
You're kind of retarded.
I got outro music for you this time.
All right.
Go ahead and send us off.
That was it. That was the send off.
All right. Okay. Yeah.
I'm going to be honest with you.
I'm going to be honest with
you. We have sound effects now. We're moving up in the world. All right. Thanks for listening.
Production value.
Later.
Yeah.